My knowledge of amber, the stone used in jewellery, is pretty non-existent. It's a resin, it often has insects inside, and once polished, it's a lot brighter than when you find it. But that's about it. So I'm delighted to discover Zelley's store on St Giles, where I'm going to find out a lot more about this stone.
Amber is strictly called a fossil resin. It is not strictly as you would associate a normal fossil, because a fossil people associate with replacement and stone and impressions in stone, whereas with amber it is the actual article. It's actually more actively or accurately called time-aged resin, because most of what we work in is Baltic amber, and that is between 38 and 45 million years old. One of the stones that I happened to buy was a little piece of amber with an insect in it, and I got quite fascinated by studying this piece of amber under the microscope and all that you could find out about the insect. And I started buying a few bits of amber, and the collection in the museum now goes back to the Stone Age of artifacts of amber, and quite a lot of them of local pieces, because a lot of amber has been found around the Norfolk and Suffolk coasts.
Alistair, hello, tell me a little bit about what you've got here.
This is a selection of the small pieces found on the coast around Norfolk.
Right.
It's a very large piece that was trawled up, very, very lightweight material, has the sea skin on it. And a couple of pieces that were found in the 30s, which have just been roughly polished and pegged up and made into jewellery, which is what we're going to show you how to do today. You have to go relatively gently, just because it is a resin, and if you get too hot, too much friction, it just starts to gum up the saw blade.
And Alistair, there's a distinctive smell coming through. That's the amber resin.
Very much so, yes. That's just a smell that amber has when you're cutting it. You don't get that with the polishing, it's just from the heat and friction of the saw blade. We finished cutting, open it up. There's the two sections. So I'm just selecting where I'm going to put the peg in. Just need to file a little flat section. Now onto drilling. Let's just check that the peg fits.
It's not indigenous to Norfolk. It comes across the North Sea from the Baltic. That is where the amber actually occurs. Unfortunately nowadays the North Sea is extensively trawled, and most of the pieces tend to get caught in the trawl nets. Anything over an inch or so tends to get caught in trawl nets, so it doesn't get to the beach. Usually you will only find it after a reasonable storm at sea, which has stirred up the undertow and the current.
Tell me how we've gone through this.
Well, we've gone from the rough, loose amber found on the beach, selected a piece, cut it in two, polished, and then it does eventually get pegged and a bail on top, fully glued, ready as a pendant.
And there we go. Wonderful. You know, they say that you can learn something new every day, and there's no doubt that today, thanks to Alistair and Howard, I've learned an enormous amount about amber, and also that it can be found here in Norfolk. It's quite a beautiful little pendant. So as you go searching through the flotsam and jetsam on the Norfolk beaches this weekend, just keep a little eye out.